Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, Congressman Al Green called for the impeachment of President Trump, and rightfully so. For those of you who are familiar with this channel, you know that I did a video calling for Donald Trump's impeachment as well. And I will include a link in the card so that you could watch that video if you have not seen it. But here you have a man who has obstructed justice by firing the person leading the investigation, by making it clear that that was on his mind when he fired him. You know, this whole investigation about collusion between the Russians and the Trump administration. So that's just touching on that subject. I'm not going to go into much detail because I've discussed it before, but here you have a congressman who called for the impeachment of this president. And again, rightfully so. So in response to that, this brother has been receiving death threats. This brother has been receiving calls from white supremacists and racists, calling for this brother to be lynched, calling for him to be hung for speaking out, for him saying that this man, Donald Trump, needs to be impeached. For that, you had these fanatics, these racists, these white supremacists calling for this brother to be lynched. And this is nothing to be taken lightly. We remember James Byrd being dragged from the truck, ripped apart. We remember that. And we remember these current questionable cases of young black people who are found hung in the woods, modern day lynchings. And they want us to believe that these are suicides. The case of Shanice Reed, the case of Ben Keita, those cases and others, another case in North Carolina, where you have these black people being found in the woods hung, swinging from trees like the strange fruit that Billie Holiday sung about. In these modern times, you had these people calling for the lynching of a congressman. And as this brother pointed out, these people, these racists, they don't care whether you are a congressman, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, or just a regular, everyday brother. In their mind, because you are black, you are a nigger. And that's what they called this brother on his phone. They left messages that were played on CNN. And I'll include a link to his interview and a link to some of the audio of some of those calls. Here you have this stuff going on. And this speaks volumes about the kind of people that support Trump. These are Trump supporters calling this congressman, threatening this congressman, threatening to lynch this congressman. This tells you the kind of people that support this man, Donald Trump. This tells you a lot about his base. It is a base based on hatred, based on fear, based on racism, based on xenophobia. This is an outrage, and we shouldn't tolerate this. And this congressman mentioned how there's an investigation. You know, they're going to find out who made these calls and bring them to justice because these are crimes being committed. Crimes committed by these racists. And, you know, a lot of these people that support Donald Trump, they want to pretend like they are great patriots, like they are trying to make America great again. But yet they are not concerned at all about a foreign power influencing the election. They're not at all concerned about a hostile foreign power colluding with the Trump administration, with the Trump campaign. That doesn't even cross their mind. They're not even concerned about that at all. But they want people to believe that these people, that they are patriots, that they are all concerned about America and that they think of America first. when you have a man in the White House that possibly and likely colluded with these Russians in the election. I mean, this man openly talked about during the campaign about how they need to release more of Hillary Clinton's emails. This is the kind of man that we have in the White House right now. A man that wants to pretend like there are no ties between his administration and the Russians when you have all these people in his administration, both past and current people, who made false representations about their contacts and their relationships with the Russians, and time again, these people have been exposed as liars. These people have been exposed for their contacts and their relationships with these Russians. That should speak volumes in and of itself. So again, I support this call for Donald Trump to be impeached, and we need to make sure that this brother Al Green is safe. You know, you have all these militant groups that talk all this black self-defense talk. But where are they when black people need defense? Are they supporting this brother? Are they standing with this brother? Are they protecting this brother? Where are they? The Nation of Islam need to be protecting this brother, man. They need to offer free services for this brother to make sure that they don't harm this brother. And, you know, I was listening to the interview, and they were talking about the minority leader, Nancy Pelosi's basically saying, well, it's too soon, it's premature to call for the impeachment of Donald Trump and all this and that. And this brother, Al Green, just made it plain. He talked about how it's not about Democrats, it's about democracy. He said that it's not about the Republicans, it's about the Republic. And those words ring true. Because anytime you have a situation where foreign power is allowed to influence the elections in the United States, that's a situation that undermines democracy. And all people that profess to be patriotic should be concerned about that, whether or not you're a Trump supporter or you're a Hillary supporter or you're an independent candidate supporter. You should be deeply concerned about the prospect that a foreign power put somebody in office, that a foreign power may have influence over this president. That's something that's deeply troubling, especially when that foreign power is a hostile foreign power. Especially when you have a situation where this man, Donald Trump, is disclosing classified information to this power. What more can I say, man?